Good afternoon. We're here giving an update on Walla school districts. And so I wanted to start off this video by, I think, at the last school board, I had some a general assembly that I was told that our school district did not participate in and did not go to. And that is completely inaccurate. They did go, they did vote, they did what they were supposed to do. And so I just wanted to apologize that I said things that were untrue. That was not my intent. I had wrong information. So thank you for bearing with me in my misinformation. So,
Okay, so another part of the school board meeting, I could not make it, so I watched it on the website, the link. And I found a few things a little disheartening, and it's a little infuriating because people still aren't getting the gist that Sarah and I have been called extremist national, part of a national group. We have been told that we are calling librarians pedophiles and slandering their good name, which we have not. We have been told that we are creating harm by banning books. So let me make myself perfectly clear yet again. It seems like every month I have to say this. We are not here to ban books. Banning books is like if I was in Iran and Iran said, this book, you can't have this book, and they caught me with the book, I'd either be in jail or, laying on the street somewhere, beat up. That we are not banning books. We are not burning books. We are asking the school district to remove pornographic pictures from books like we have shown in the past. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But I just want to make people understand that we are not those people, and we are just trying to do a couple of things with the books in the libraries because they do not belong in a school public library, period. Pornographic pictures do not belong. I don't care if it's gay sex, I don't care if it's straight sex. No sexual pictures should be in the public library.
or erotic vocabulary that is
Yes.
the same thing.
Yes. So just had to get that out because I was a little ticked off about it. But now we're going to talk about Wade Smith. I have to give it to Wade. He's trying to make a difference. So he came up with a new library book policy. And so we're going to quickly go through it, just some of the highlights, and let you guys see if you like it or not.
So first off, if you want a copy, a link to this procedure that he just came out with, please email the forourkidsww@gmail.com. We're happy to send it to you. We would love your feedback. But we still do have a lot of questions and some concerns about the new procedure. So did you want to start?
I'll let you start.
Okay. Ha. So it's a pretty large procedure. It has a lot of information, and so there's a lot of sections, and they're done in alphabetical order. So in section D, it says that the books selected need to support and be consistent with the general educational goals of Washington State and Walla School District. I would like to know what the general educational goals of the state of Washington and the Walla School District are, because I can't imagine that some of the books that we have been talking about meet or are consistent and support the general educational goals of Washington State and the Walla Public School District. So I would really like a definition of, that was a fly, I'm not waving at anybody. There's a fly in my house.
Everywhere.
Generation, I would like to know what the actual definition is to that. I would like to know what the information literacy standards are established by the American Association of School Librarians, because it has to go under that too, and I have no idea what that is.
Because we keep hearing things about the American Association of School Librarians. There's some things that are a little sketchy.
Yes. So in part D of this section, it says contain appropriate subject matter for the age, emotional development, ability level, learning styles, and social development of the student to whom they are selected. So how is this measured? How is this appropriate subject matter measured? That is another question that I have.
Well, I think if we go to I think it's by the librarian, correct?
It's by the librarian and the sources that they use to get books. And one of the things that they have put in place is using Common Sense Media. And while Common Sense Media is great for getting information, I use it for movies, books, and different things for my own children and for movies that we watch if I want to know how appropriate it is for a family setting. I don't agree a lot of times with the stars or the age that it gives. Like, it'll be, say, 16 plus is the age, but down below you're going to see what kind of drugs it has in it, what kind of sex it has in the movie or book, what kind of language it has, what kind of violence it has. All these different things are measured and give you very specifically what they are. But then they say it's appropriate for 16 plus, which in my opinion, I'm like, that's for those, if they've got a whole bunch of stuff in it that I don't feel as though, like, I don't necessarily want to read that. I don't know that 16 plus is a good, I don't know where they come up with that age. So if they're going to use Common Sense Media, you're not always getting an accurate picture. Because if you look at the reviews on Common Sense Media, you'll see that a lot of parents and kids don't agree with the age that they've selected as appropriate.
Well, right. So to give you an example of Common Sense Media, Gender Queer got 4 out of 5 stars. Gender Queer has pictures in it of people getting a blowjob and other sexual wording that is totally disgusting and inappropriate. That is not educational. That is nothing that my tax dollars needs to be in a school library. So my question is, for the guideline ratings, are they forbidden with 3 stars or less? Or are they just going to go off of any stars, no matter what it gets? So what is their criteria? That's what I want to know. And it's not always correct, as we have found out, because they not only do Common Sense Media, but they do the School Library Journal, the Book List, and Follett, and the Kirkus Reviews. And we've gone through all of those before with the school district, showing them that it's not as great as everybody thinks. So,
yeah. So one of the things that they did add was that they plan on using Common Sense Media, but that they also, prior to the library books being acquired by the district, they want to make the list available for 2 weeks for public review and input, and they will advertise this list of recommended books. And the community members with questions or concern are encouraged to address the matter with the school librarian. So if we have an issue, we're supposed to contact the school librarian. I'm not sure what that back and forth would look like, but that's what we're supposed to do. Unfortunately, while I like that that is great, there is nothing in this procedure that says that that will change if they acquire the book or not. So if we have 20 parents say, man, I don't think this book is appropriate for my child's age group, there's nothing stopping the librarian from ordering it anyway in this procedure.
right. That doesn't mean that they would, but
I'm just saying
by the
stopping.
procedure.
Right.
Correct. By the procedure. So I guess we're going to get the librarian's emails from every school, and we will put them out there. So if you guys have any complaints or anything about books, then you will have to contact the school librarian. So,
yeah. So in the considerations for weeding, which means like getting rid of books, they have all these things listed of why, there's newer editions or inappropriate reading level or perpetuates cultural, ethnic, and sexual stereotypes, which I don't think those are good definitions, because I think a lot of our books do that in the Walla School District Library. But there's nothing in this consideration about inappropriate educational books, which I think there should be. I think that should be part of it.
Right.
So now the other thing that they've added to this procedure that was not in the last procedure is how they will have or make up a library materials review committee. Before, it was several staff members, several different people, several students, different things like that. And so they've changed the makeup of that committee. It says that the committee will have one school librarian, one building principal, one member of the teaching and learning or equity department, one teacher, one student from the superintendent's student advisory council with parent permission. And additionally, 5 parent representatives will be chosen at random from a list curated from volunteers following a public announcement. Parent representatives shall maintain at least one child at the school level, elementary, middle, or high school, that the book resource is being considered. So they're going to put out this big memo, I'm assuming, if you want to volunteer.
Yes, as a parent.
But, okay, so I have high school students, but I can't, so if a book comes up in the middle school, I can't be on that committee. I can only be on the high school committee. And so, number one, I'm going to say, if you have issues with and feel in step with the things that we have been saying, please sign up to be on one of these review committees.
Mhm.
Please put your name in the hat to be chosen, because that's the only way this is going to go well. This is our only fighting chance of changing what's currently in our school libraries, in my opinion, is
Right.
getting the right people on committees.
Right. And me being a grandparent, just having a grandchild in the schools, I would not be able to be on those committees, which is so convenient. But I also have another problem. As a taxpayer, why are there not any community members on this committee?
Yeah.
Because it's my tax dollars that are
Yes.
buying these public school library books, and I want to know why I can't be on there.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a whole different, I mean, it's Wade Smith has gone out of his way to try to upgrade this and make it more equitable for everybody in the community. But there's just still a lot of things that has to change, in my opinion. But
yeah. Down further in this procedure, when a person is making a complaint regarding a library resource, they're supposed to direct their complaint to the teacher librarian, and they're supposed to help resolve the issues informally. And one of the things that librarian has to do is explain why the material was selected or is being proposed, or how its consideration or exclusion in the collection was guided by the district's collection development policy procedure, and share review sources for the item in question. So what I found interesting was this is explaining why the material was selected.
So I
Because-
could still do that. 'Cause
Yes.
I'm not on the parent committee, so
Right.
anybody can do that
Yes.
part.
So know that you still can do those things and be in communication and really try to question if these books are educational.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a lot to this procedure. The other thing that I had issue with is further down when they're looking at requests for reconsideration. So while the committee, when you're on a committee, that's my dog. He's making himself shaking. Okay, so he, one of the things it says is that consider the entire work rather than extracting passages or parts, weighing the values and faults against each other, and weighing the conflicting opinions based on the material as a whole. But they don't have to read the book. The people on the committee don't have to read the book. So how do you consider a work as a whole if you don't read the whole book? And
Yeah.
I don't know that that's any different than the procedure as how it stood. I can't even talk anymore. Before they changed it, I believe that part was the same. But that's been a question of mine, is how do you consider the whole work if you're not reading the whole work? And how do you, like, do that. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I thought was super interesting about this, but that may be the main pieces that we were discussing.
Right, right. And again, you know, we appreciate the librarians, we appreciate the teachers. Everyone's doing a job to get these kids educated. But there's things that need to improve. And we have a lot of friends that are teachers. I worked for the school district for 20 years. I've got a good rapport with a lot of them. So I'm not downgrading anybody, but we need to get on board and get a lot of this stuff cleaned up. It's so interesting to me. And I guess the only way I can think of it is this way. There's a lot of highly educated and knowledgeable people that work in the school district. I have no doubt. But something that is missing in some people that make some decisions is wisdom and discernment. And without those two things, it's not going to work. And there's going to be a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up. And so we're not downgrading anybody, but we need some action because honestly, our children's innocence, and somebody brought up at the school board meeting that, you know, 50% of the students have sex right now. Well, you know, really, who cares? At the bottom line is, then that's their choice. But you need to remove the pornographic pictures from the library. I would love to see the Union Bulletin take those pictures that I had shown the school board without being covered up and put it on their page, one of their pages, and the Union Bulletin flat out, and just have it on there. And let's just let the community decide. Should that be in a school library or should that not be in a school library? Let's have the Union Bulletin do that. Put it in their paper, uncovered, and see what the community says.
That would be interesting.
Yes, it would.
So we also wanted to mention the next school board meeting is a little bit different due to Thanksgiving. And so they're having it a little early. So it's Tuesday, November 15th. So please join us. Oh, my dog has to make an appearance. November 15th, 5:30. And of course, we will be praying before that meeting in the parking lot at 4:45. Please join us and let us know what you think. Thanks so much.
All right, bye.